it well.
Okay, so this will be my last song for the year, and usually I try every year to do a Christmas song for the last one. So
this is your last show of the year?
No, it's my last because I'm going to be hitting the road to go back to Tennessee on Monday.
Oh.
So I'm going to bring my stuff with me, so maybe I can get in another podcast. Okay. But I'm not going to be bringing the ukulele and everything along with me. So.
All right. I was worried about you there. Okay. Yeah. Enough of the preamble.
Yeah. So this is for all you sentimental people, and apologize for the language ahead of time. Fuck Christmas. It's a waste of fucking time. Fuck Santa. He's just out to get your dime. Fuck holly and fuck ivy and fuck all that mistletoe. White-bearded, big fat bastards ringing bells wherever you go. And bloated men in shopping malls all going ho, ho, ho. It's fucking Christmas time again. Fuck Christmas. It's a fucking Disney show. Fuck reindeer and all that fucking snow. Fuck carols and fuck Rudolph and his stupid fucking nose. And fucking sleigh bells tinkling everywhere you fucking go. Fuck stockings and fuck shopping. It just drives us all insane. Go tell the elves to fuck themselves. It's Christmas time again.
Well, I guess I would say that's your best one yet, but Chris just decided to fuck off and
leave the show by Christmas. So
yeah, it's just you and me. I guess this is really.
I guess he thought the language was probably too strong for us.
It was too strong for him, in his Massachusetts ways. Oh, he's back.
He missed the best line. Yeah.
Did you jump out to just change your name?
I did. Can I do it while I'm in here? I don't think I can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
do those three little dots down there by your microphone.
Ellipsis. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Well, that's way easier.
But it made good for a dramatic finish when you just left all of a sudden. Like you were just like, fuck Christmas, fuck the show.
That was good.
Way to put us in the Christmas spirit there. Thank you.
It's that time of year.
Yeah. Fuck the holidays.
Yeah, fuck the holidays, man.
Yeah. I sent a demo of that over to a friend, and they replied, "I like Christmas." It's not the point, but
that's funny.
Wait, I like Disney shows like Andor.
Oh, hey, do you know?
No, just because you said it's a Disney show, and so it has a whole new ring to it now that there's a Disney network. Anyway, it was good in my head, my COVID brain.
How is your COVID brain doing?
Yeah, you sound better.
Pretty good. Yeah, I never got the no taste, no smell thing, so escaped that.
I'm fascinated with that. With all the people that I've known who've gotten it, like what their symptoms were. Because like my dad was perfectly fine. Like when he got it, the only thing he had was like sharp back pain every now and then. Like he would just kind of like get him. And then we looked up symptoms, and that was one of them, is that you have like a tightness in your spinal column muscle.
Oh, yeah, I had that too. I didn't realize that it was associated with it. I just thought it was all the sex
That's
I was
fucking
crazy.
Just an invite.
No,
Randy, you missed the song. It was a good one. You should just rewind and watch it again.
We're just trying to get more viewers at the beginning, to go back.
I'm not sure which crowd you're looking for with that one there, but
me or Randy.
Yes.
So yes, I had the lower back pain. I had the body aches, the chills,
Mhm.
sinus drainage, sinus blockage. No, never had the no smell thing. Sore throat, had that. And yeah, I'd say the one thing that has stayed longer than anything and that has surprised me, because you hear about people getting COVID and you're like, yeah, the fatigue, whatever, get over it, get up and move around. No, I get fucking winded just doing simple stuff. Like we went on a walk through our park. I got back. I was like, I ran like a warm taffy marathon. Like I was just like so winded. I could not. So that's the one thing that surprised me. Like is the fatigue. So
Right.
I still have somehow, some way. I have no idea. I have not
probably
yet
had
gotten
it. You just got your asymptomatic, or you're just a god.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I thought I was that way for a long time. I thought, oh, I'm one of those people.
My wife hasn't had it.
So
I haven't had it.
Yeah.
Our kid did. Emma had it.
Yeah.
I work in retail. Like it's wild that I haven't. I can't believe that I haven't gotten it yet.
Well, both of our kids had it, and if listeners remember, during the Raleigh meetup, my wife had just gotten over the COVID, so people didn't really want to hug me when they saw me. They were like, "Oh, that's fine. Your wife has COVID."
It wasn't much for their wife, buddy,
but she had lost her sense of smell and taste. So
in men,
she lost that a long time ago.
But yes, I mean, like everyone in my family all had it at the same time because they came to visit me and gave it to me. But like mom came in and hers was kind of like a sinus infection. Like she had a lot of congestion, a lot of coughing, and then dad had the back problems. My sister was probably the worst. Like she actually vomited, and then just was down and out for like 2 or 3 days. And then me, it didn't really even bother me until about 3 days in. And then I remember just the one day, it's kind of like what you're saying, Matt, like everything I did, I was just winded. Like I would sit in the chair, just standing up and be like, ooh, like I need to catch my breath.
That's the thing that's stuck with me though. Like it's hung in there. Like just the other day I was doing laundry and it was Tuesday. It had been a week since I first came down with it. Took 2 things of laundry. Now, just up my stairs, I set them down. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta just like take a moment here. Like, what the hell? So it's that part is no joke, and I don't know. By the way, for the listeners that keep asking about Jack, this is actually an Owen and Baru's barbecue. Surprise! No, Jack is
didn't want to come tonight.
Apparently he thinks Survivor is more important. So
yeah, that dead show. Like anybody watches Survivor.
Is it still a popular show?
I don't think it as much as it is. Like I haven't watched it in 3. I watched the first 2 seasons, then I skipped like the next 4 seasons, and then like the first All-Star game, which is when they brought like all the cool people from the previous seasons back. I watched it every season up until about 2 years ago, and then I haven't watched it since. And it's just because like it's getting to the point now where it's really predictable. It's really just the same show over and over again. They used to really mix it up to where you'd have like different things for the cast to do, and now I'm just kind of like, I'm tired of it.
I have yet to see 1 episode of Survivor. I have somehow
you and me both, brother,
evaded that entire thing. I feel like I'm having deja vu. I think we've talked about this before, you and I, Matt.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
hey, hello down there.
Hey, welcome to the upper class.
Yeah, it smells nicer up here. It's weird.
Until I farted, like dripped up.
I haven't yet seen it. I'm not even 1 episode.
Well, I mean, I remember when it came out, I remember thinking like I wanted it to be like an ultimate Survivor show. And it's not. It's a reality show that's on an island or wherever, and they have to do alliances and things like that. And then, I don't know, it's been 6 or 7 seasons now. Like there's a show on Discovery or History Channel called Alone. And that is really what I wanted Survivor to be, where it's like they get like 10 people or 11 people, they throw them out in the middle of nowhere, and they just have to survive. And the last one standing.
Here's a toothbrush. Good luck.
Yeah. But they get like 10 items, 10 personal its, and that's it. And,
I'm going to pick my Roomba and this paper towel. 1. Sorry.
Well, but it just like Survivor, and like there's people that are diehards of Survivor, and when they go into Survivor, they've learned everything from the previous 30 seasons or whatnot, and or 40 seasons or whatever it is. And so they learn like no one, because it used to be where people would bring like these gigantic bow and arrows because they were thinking like I'm going to kill a moose or I'm going to kill like a big, and like no one has done it. Like only one person has done it in the history of the show. So most people kind of were like, you know what, I'm not going to bring like something for big game. Like they're trying to really become ultimate survivors. But it's a good show. I mean, the first few seasons especially are really good because they were just every day alone. Yeah, alone. They were actual just regular people who went out there. And then now the last couple of seasons I haven't enjoyed as much because they're people that are actually survivalists or people that do tourists, like they're not tourists, but they're tour guides, and so they have survival skills or outback people, and so they're doing it really to promote their own business in a way. It's like, oh, I was the guy that got third on Alone season whatever, and it promotes their own, but like they're actual
come buy my backpack.
Yeah, well, in a way, but it's they know that when they get out there, they actually know what they're doing. Like they go out there and they build like these unbelievable structures, and they can survive longer, but it takes away that element of like, hey, this could be me just out there in the woods. Like, how do I live? But yeah, Alone is a pretty kick-ass show.
Also, the name of your sex tape.
Oh God.
Man, I'm going to give it to you because that's a sick burn, and it's rare for you. So I like it.
That was fucking savage.
Well, I've been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and that is the ongoing. That's what she says in that show. Is they will always say name of so and so's sex tape, and so
nice.
Yeah. Couldn't help it. Sorry, Nick.
I haven't finished yet, but I'm almost caught up with Manifest.
You saw my text in you the other day.
Yeah, so
like, I thought it was going to be done. Like I thought it was done, and I get to the last episode, and I'm like, "The fuck!" And then all of a sudden, you get this like, "New episodes will come in 2023." I'm like, "God damn it,
dude!" Like, it is so fucking bad.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. Okay, so there's one episode of the season where I literally laughed out loud. And I was at Whole Foods having lunch at like their little diner area. I'm watching Manifest on my phone, and I got the AirPods in, and there's a scene in one of the episodes where the fucking eagle shoots lightning out of its eyes, and it's like the beginning of a fucking rock video. And I was like, I almost fucking lost it in the middle of Whole Foods, but I didn't. But I will say though, there's actually a scene that takes place in a Masonic hall, like a place where Freemasons gather. And I am a former Freemason. I was a Freemason.
Oh my God.
Did you know that?
No, I don't think I knew that. Yeah. If I did, I was really, really high.
Yeah. Secret society.
Yeah. I am a former member. The only reason I'm not a member is because I moved away from the lodge I was at.
They let you out? I didn't know they let you. I thought once you were in, you're always in.
Fun.
But hold on,
okay.
real quick. But the what was very accurate was the insides of a Masonic hall that literally looks like every Masonic hall, like with like the industrial kitchen down to like the carpentry to everything. That is like a legit like real life like depiction of what a Masonic hall looks like in the inside.
I was just gonna say fun Franklin fact, since we're Franklin Eskimo brothers here. Here, and my Franklin is where the Masonic home is. There's a big, huge Masonic home and this Masonic retirement community here in Franklin. So,
my lodge was one of the original. We still have it there. Well, they have it. The original charter signed by Paul Revere.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's actually really. So we actually when I was there, when I was a member of the lodge, an active member of the lodge, it was probably 2007 through 2015, I think it was. And I remember we uncovered, not uncovered, we kind of like brought it out of its like its case that we had in the lodge, blah blah, and we actually paid to have it completely fully restored and encased in this airtight case. It's pretty awesome. It's a like legit piece of history. It's signed by Paul Revere, the original charter, which is kind of cool. But yeah, no more time for that.
Aw.
More money. It's
Okay.
just fucking expensive.
So it's not free. Okay.
No,
That's
you
a
pay
big
dues.
misnomer.
It's not expensive. I shouldn't say that. It's just time.
What's interesting, I mean, I always find that kind of stuff fascinating, just like the whole Freemasonry and like all the secret societies of like old America, because, in the South, fraternities are popular because it's networking. But then, like, I had two fraternity brothers that were also within Skull and Bones within the, our fraternity. And like, they could never talk about it, but you knew they were, like they were, it's like, oh, and like, it's one of those hush hush, like you're going to be connected your entire life things. It's like, well, why can't I be connected? I want to be connected.
I want in.
I want in. Let me in, fucker.
Like spoiler alert, there's no secret like take over the world shit happening at Freemason meetings. It's just a bunch of old dudes who get together and do these weird rituals, have meetings. Not, when I say weird rituals, I mean like proceedings, not like a weird like sacrificial lamb.
But everybody, you left, all the men, you left, Chris. Just when it was getting interesting.
Yeah, it was. It was like the very next meeting.
Yeah,
that Chris
I was actually the secretary of my lodge for one of the years I was there.
Okay.
Like I was there. Yeah.
Okay.
I put some time in.
That's hey. I don't know what level you were. I mean, clearly you're not a 33 degree, but
33rd. But it's okay.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm not a 33rd.
Are
you?
Me? No. I'm no.
I think that's a yes.
No, I'm not. I'm just fucking with people.
Interesting. So. Anyways,
yeah.
Like, so you didn't get to the meeting where you basically have to show your testicles and somebody comes around and Polaroids.
Well, they removed one of them.
Yeah,
they remove one of them, and the lizard person is like there.
The
UFO documents are shown. The JFK Zapruder film.
None of that.
Yeah. Okay. Damn.
It's a bunch of old dudes smoking cigarettes, playing pitch in the basement of a fucking old banquet hall. It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. In 100 years, years, people are going to make the same claim about Shriners. They're like, now that
Shriners is they're connected. Yeah.
Well, Shriners, they're Masons. Like that's like the like it's a prerequisite to be a Shriner is Freemasonry.
Yeah.
Next level. Yeah, gotcha.
But who is the true pyramid Lego master?
I mean, that's what you guys do, right? Like you get high and then you like design the next dollar bill.
Yeah.
And shit that's in there.
Yep.
Whoa. What if we had like a pentagram with not an eye, but a nose? I'm just trying to think of other objects that you could just put weird like body parts with. Be like, whoa, man.
But yeah, like back to
this whole thing came from fucking Manifest.
Yeah. So as I say, back to Manifest, like there's definitely some scenes where I just watch them act and I just go like, I sure hope to God you guys got paid a lot for this last season because you're never getting another job again. Like it's so bad.
It really is bad.
Or
there's not one solid actor amongst any of them. Like,
or
just so
hear me out. It's going to be one of those things that 10 years from now, it's like, damn, we didn't know, but like this guy was like on there the whole time, and it's like a real big Hollywood, becomes
some
like,
guy that made it later.
Yeah, that like makes it big.
Oh.
Yeah,
but probably
it's
not.
The kid. It's the little kid, not the original little kid, but it's the other one. Like the one that's the older one who's even worse actor than the kid. Yeah,
dude, it's so bad. Like I'm thinking about this stuff right now. You're absolutely 100% right. There's not one good actor on the show.
Not one.
Perhaps
it's an ensemble of shit actors. It's really that bad. I was gonna say the kid. Mm-hmm. No, not the kid, but the I don't want to. What's his fucking name? Vasquez. He has the same like brooding Vasquez entries at every fucking scene. It's like you can just like take footage from him in season 1 and just copy it and put and paste it into any scene this season. But it's man, it's a terrible show. Yeah.
My favorite's
but I love it.
My favorite's the crazy lady. I need my angel.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I think La Brea is trying to out Manifest.
Well, dude, she was in Americans.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did you watch The Americans?
Only season 1.
Oh, she's the daughter.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of Americans.
It's a great show.
I'm afraid I can't help it. Sorry. Little Bowie, humor.
I don't know if you guys saw the trailer. Speaking of Carrie Russell from The Americans, like, have you guys seen the trailer yet for Cocaine Bear?
Yes.
No.
She's in Cocaine Bear, and I'm just watching. It's one of those movies where you're like, it's gonna be so bad, it's good. You know, it's just over the top, cheesy.
MST3K season 14, man.
It's but so Matt, if you don't know what the premise of Cocaine Bear is
I don't.
So I don't know, what, a decade ago, maybe a little over a decade ago, like a drug shipment from South America crashed. A plane crashed, and it was full of just bricks and bricks of cocaine. And this is just the true story, is that the bear did a lot of coke and died. But someone took that premise and said, what if we took like a big ass bear and let him eat an entire brick of cocaine and then just start killing people?
Oh, okay.
And so it's like, it's just
it's fucking perfect is what it is. It makes more sense than Manifest.
I felt like there's a Lost reference that's there somewhere too, you know.
Well, Manifest, it really fucking wants to be lost, and
it really
can't.
Yeah,
it's so far fetched from it. Like, I mean,
speaking of trailers, can we talk about the trailers that dropped? Did you guys watch the Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny?
Yeah,
it looks like shit.
I'm so worried.
There was a test screening, and it got fucking pummeled.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, that's what I mean. I'm not sure if Chris and I read the same article, but yeah,
I think we
apparently they,
or maybe I heard that from you.
They test screened it for an audience. What the article I read, and they had 5 different endings for Indiana Jones, the new one, and all 5 of them, the audience hated all 5.
Oh, really? Huh.
So from what, I don't know if this is true or a rumor or what, but supposedly, he starts off in 1969, and like they find like a time machine, or they get sucked in some time portal or not, and he goes back to World War II, and he runs into the younger version of himself.
That's what it seems like from the trailer.
And then the younger version of himself actually dies.
River Phoenix?
No, like the actual Indy from the 40s.
I was making in the middle of War II. I was making a teen death joke.
Yeah.
Too soon.
And like I'm hoping this is just a rumor, because like I'll be pissed if this is what happens. But like supposedly that's what happens, is that he goes back, and then the young Indiana from the 1940s sacrifices himself because of something that's going wrong, and because of that, the old Indiana Jones disappears, like Back to the Future, and then this woman like basically has to do everything Indy would do. And like, I'm like, that's gonna suck, dude. If that's what happens.
No,
that's one hell of a rebooted franchise,
right?
I thought I saw a headline that they said they weren't planning on.
No, it's Disney, dude. They're gonna milk everything they can.
Yeah, but you'd think, but like, there is no Indiana Jones on Disney Plus,
right?
They've shopped it out.
They need to put the young. I don't know why they don't do that.
Exactly.
They should put the Young Chronicles on there.
Like, okay, I get it. You shop out the movies to Paramount Plus or whoever else, because I mean, it is a Paramount movie. Right. So, okay, you have some kind of joint venture with them. But why not the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles? I loved those, and they were fun, So, and if
I remember when they came out, like, I remember when they came out on DVD, I was working at Best Buy, and they wanted an insane amount of money for them. Like, it's just DVD. I was like, you're crazy.
It is. It's nuts. I watched it when it was out. And there's even a crossover episode where there is the old, like, Harrison Ford makes a cameo on one of he is the old Indiana Jones in one of the episodes. So, why those have not seen the light of day, I don't know, but there's definitely a couple fans out here that would like to. So I'm hoping, at least with the new release of the movie, that maybe Disney will at least promote or put the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles on there. I think it would be a fun way. If they were to do anything of passing the torch or do any like kind of callback characters, I think we've talked about it, is that we would want a return of Short Round.
Yeah, I was actually about to say that. It's like, because it's something I was thinking about the other day, is like, even though 4 definitely had its like eye-rolling moments, I think I would have preferred it better if you wouldn't have cast Shia LaBeouf and just had short round in it. You know, like had like an older short round, and then done a few things differently. It could have been
they'll make it
saved.
his son, but just like have that like father because he
exactly.
was yeah.
Well, you said he like dropped out of acting for a long time though. Jonathan
he dropped out of acting, but he's been in Hollywood ever sinst. He was
he's been doing stunt coordination.
Stunt coordination, yeah. That's why he was so good in everything everywhere all at once.
That was a. I mean, if you're gonna pull out,
I'm hoping he's in this movie. Like,
if you're gonna pull out Warwick Davis, you know, and use him, like, come on, you can definitely use short round.
So, have you guys watched Willow yet?
Yes, I have. I've seen the first 2 episodes. If the third one's dropped, I haven't seen that one yet. So.
I have not watched it yet, but I heard it's pretty meh.
It's meh. Yeah, it's meh. It's a big meh.
Okay, you guys are more like down on it.
I haven't seen it.
I was a bit more.
It's not. It's this is how I describe it to my sister. It's not bad. It's just forgettable.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Is that one?
I thought the first episode didn't do much. That's why they did the 2 episodes together. And there is the fun twist, which I was kind of, you're kind of looking for where the twist is going to happen.
You didn't see that coming? I saw it like coming like 5 minutes in.
No, sure, but like you're kind of bouncing around. You're like,
right.
Who's this? So,
all right. So here was my biggest issue with it, because you guys know I'm a plot guy. It's the sequel Star Wars trilogy recycled. That's what it is. It's exactly what it is.
I'm trying to think of how that would work.
It's an orphaned girl who doesn't know who she is, doesn't know of her powers, trained by a reluctant, spawned or spurned wizard with a villain who is in the shadows. It is most likely Magmorta from the first movie. You're like, it's the same fucking thing.
Not for nothing, but when was the last time you actually went back and watched the movie Willow?
Yeah, I need to watch it again. I watched it probably.
No, the fuck you don't. It's fucking terrible.
It's terrible.
Like it does not hold up, and it is not a good movie. If you go back and watch it again,
I actually liked
Sherry.
Okay, well, I actually liked the younger actors in the show. I thought liked that it was it was trying to set a tone that was a bit more lighthearted and maybe more of a younger generation, and I think that if you look at the trailers leading up to the movie or to the show, all of the teaser stuff has been geared or aimed at that younger audience and this more light approach, and not taking itself too seriously. So I actually thought the parts with Warwick in the second episode were a bit clunkier. So and that's where I'm, I like him. I like he's one of the few Star Wars actors that I've seen in person, and I saw him at the Star Wars Celebration when Revenge of the Sith came out. I don't know what number that would have been, but but it's been a while. But he was with his wife and his son at the time, who was also in the 9th movie as an Ewok. But his son was like basically a baby at the time, and they were kind of pushing him around. So
what's crazy to me is that when I think about Willow, the movie, he was 11 in Return of the Jedi, and then Willow was only made 5 years later. And
right.
And you think of him as like an adult in Willow, but really he's still a kid.
Yeah.
Like, dang. I agree though with Sherry, which is opposite of what Matt was just saying, is that I thought the first episode was a bit too young adult for me, which is with the whole like teenager drama stuff and love and all that, and then it didn't get good until actually Warwick Davis shows up on screen. The third episode I thought was a bit better. There's a couple of side stories where like, why is this in here?
I haven't seen the third episode.
Yeah,
yet.
The third episode was a vast improvement.
Now keep in mind, I am a little bit more positive on things. I'm not a negative Nick. But I also watched it with what 2?
That's strike 2.
Oh, okay. Well, what happens when strike 3 happens?
You don't want to know.
Oh, okay. Is that when Jack appears?
Jack appears.
Fuck.
Jack appears as Matt's trying to close out the show.
That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then he just goes on like a 30-minute tirade.
I had a lot of binge time during my COVID, guys. Okay. I was relegated to my basement, and so I watched those episodes deep in the heart of COVID. Also watched a lot of World Cup, and I've gone into a deeper dive into Star Trek.
Nice.
That's where I'm at.
That's a big catalog.
It is huge, and I think I mentioned it last week. I had watched Picard, which I liked Picard. But then I started watching Lower Decks, that was my COVID binge show because it was lighthearted and it makes fun of Trek. So it's I don't know. I can't speak highly enough about Lower Decks.
And I believe it is canon too, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's considered canon, but it is so much fun. Like I think it brings a much needed, like, I don't know. It made me kind of fall in love with Star Trek in a way where I was like, okay, I want to go back and watch some of these Next Generation episodes again. And it's so crazy to watch Next Generation now because it's basically like if you were to watch the original series in 2000, right? It's like 40 years back. So there's some charm, I think, to watching, even if it's, that show's clunky, the first season, you're kind of like, wait, what are you writing? Like, am I high or just on COVID? Because whatever.
Did I ever tell you guys, or did you guys ever read that where, the actual proper way to say DATA is data, but because of Star Trek Next Generation, we all Americans say data. And
really?
Data.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like the data that's coming in. But we've that's, I read that article years ago, is that because of that show, it kind of changed the enunciation of that word.
No shit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Brent Spiner changing the world.
Whenever I hear data, I think of the art movement. So that's me.
I think of that terrible song.
Jeremy asked a really good question. It's like, can I be bold as to ask, what is canon to you all? Canon in what show, Jeremy? Like, what do you mean by canon?
I think maybe you were talking about, or maybe in general, like what we consider. Because I like, with Star Wars, I like to make up my own canon.
Exactly, too. Yeah.
And I think that's what's great about them making legacy stuff. So,
because even though The Force Unleashed is no longer canon, I still consider it canon.
They brought something up. So they always kind of like lay clues, I think, to different things that maybe it could be, or maybe they'll expand on it. But
I like the idea of Vader having a secret apprentice.
Oh yeah, it makes sense too.
Yeah,
it totally makes sense when you look at what Dooku does. It's shocking that Maul. We don't see Maul having an apprentice, but
Savage in a way, but yeah,
kind of. But later, right?
Right.
It's for Maul, he was pretty much trained to just be an assassin killer,
right?
So so he had different. If you read the Darth Plagueis book, which is still, again, what is canon, is still a really good book for that period of.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Sherry talks about, when I think of Willow's kids, when I hear Dada, like I think of the way that he said it in the movie. It makes sense too.
One other thing that I had to look up because of Star Trek and just like the history of it, but the actress that plays the security officer from the first season, and then she's gone. What is her name?
What show?
For Star Trek Next Generation. Why am I blanking on her name?
That's too long ago.
I've watched so much of it; it's embarrassing. So, the problem is I keep thinking of Deanna Troi, and it's not Deanna Troi. It's
I love her.
Right?
While you're thinking of it, Jeremy asked a question in the chat. It says, to me, my generation, I lived through the Phantom Menace. Boo. But books, series, do we consider these as hearsay? Well, actually, so it's not what we consider. There are many books that are actually considered by I guess Star Wars, like the entity of Star Wars, they're recognized as canon, right? So it's like that that's not for us to say. That's actually like they tell us.
Yeah.
This is part of it.
Yeah.
Like the Thrawn books, as we talk about all the time. Those are all
Yeah.
considered to be canon, which is why you're hearing these mentions in the
new Thrawn books. The old
Right.
Thrawn books are not, which is sad, but yeah.
right.
So
Anywho.
for everyone out there, somebody just joined.
They just spoiled our Star Wars talk. Great.
You couldn't even
Just
refresh his
Get
background.
into the. Oh, I think he's frozen. Well, we're gonna have to cut him.
Carbonite.
No, I think he actually is frozen.
No, he froze. Yeah, he froze.
I was trying to think of Tasha Yar, Denise Crosby,
right.
who is actually Bing Crosby's granddaughter.
Mhm.
Really?
And growing up, I always thought the lore is because she was in this Playboy issue that she got kicked off the show, but she actually left the show. She didn't. She didn't actually.
Did I freeze up?
You did.
It was a Star Wars talk.
Yeah. I think it's funny about like with just actors, like
It's actually Star Trek, Jack.
What's her name? Lisa Bonet, the one that married Lenny Kravitz and was on the Cosby Show.
Oh,
Yep, Lisa Bonet.
Bonet, yeah. It's like same thing. She got pregnant, and then Bill Cosby, one of the biggest hypocrites of them all, it was like, oh well, you might be pregnant, but my daughter on the show is not pregnant, so you're fired. And it's like, wow, what a dick.
Because he couldn't drug her while she was pregnant.
I guess.
Right.
Jesus, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
No,
No,
Yeah,
not
but
you,
he-
Jack.
he-
What Nick said.
No,
Yeah,
he
what
got-
I said. Yeah.
She got fired for it.
Mm-hmm.
No shit. I didn't know that.
It's the same thing as like Growing Pains. The blonde that was the one the sisters posed for Playboy, and then the Tool, the brother, like I think it's Growing Pains.
No, you're thinking of Charles in Charge.
No.
No.
Growing Pains.
No. It's Growing Pains because
Growing Pains. Yeah, Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron got her fired. Yeah,
She played her
Playboy.
love interest.
Yeah.
Oh.
Blonde-haired girl. She became a comedian. She's a stand-up comic now.
Huh? Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, just to clarify, though, Denise Crosby didn't get fired for that. That was just kind of like a urban lore about that. But apparently, she had posed or had pictures in an issue from like the late 70s, like
Was that her
79
name,
or
Denise
something like
Crosby?
that. Yeah, and I didn't know that she was the granddaughter of Bing Crosby, but that's how they were selling the Playboy. So,
Oh, really?
so then when she, I think,
The
gained
girl from Growing Pains?
No, this is I'm talking about Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, okay.
Next Generation. So Jack's like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about now.
We've been talking for 35 minutes now.
I've already
You
cut.
missed a lot. You missed an entire lifetime of conversation.
So,
sir.
so the grandchild of was it which kid was which it wasn't the girl that shot JR, was it? Mary Crosby.
No. Denise
No.
Crosby plays Tasha Yar on Star Trek Next Generation. That's who I was talking about. So
Yeah, but that's the granddaughter of Bing Crosby.
Bing
right?
Crosby, yes.
The girl
Now,
that
she could
shot
be
JR.
related to.
What I'm
to
saying
other...
is Mary Crosby was
Mhm.
Bing's daughter.
Oh, okay.
And she's the one that shot JR.
Oh, maybe.
I'm
maybe she's
asking
related.
you.
I didn't look that deep into the Bing Crosby family lineage. It was more of just a like glancing at like.
Well, I
oh,
guess
okay,
he was,
what-
according to his son, he was a dick. So
I would imagine. I mean, you get that drunk, you know, it's like,
get over here so I can beat the shit out of you. Just
Most
I
people
remember
like
that
better
actress.
dicks.
Sorry, I went on the Google search of the girl who got fired from Growing Pains.
Oh,
Still there. Julie McCulloch.
you can always share those photos once you find them.
I'm not looking for the naked one. I don't remember which one it was.
yeah, sure.
But now you've inspired me. Please hold.
So since Jack's here now, I'll talk about we talked about a little bit last week about stuff that's coming out.
There
I
they are.
did go see Violent Night on
you did?
Saturday. And if you like, Nobody and John Wick, you will like
Violent Nights.
Violent Night.
Was it
And
fun?
nobody was with what's his name, right?
You're on the Ramble cast.
What? I'm not sure. What?
We have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway,
We're sober.
Are you having a stroke, Jack?
I was looking for Mary Crosby, see if she was related to the. I was doing a.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I was being Chris for a second.
Okay.
See, I can hide it better
Violent
now.
Night. If you like, that just over the top violence, there is definitely a lot of what the fuck moments with the way people die. A lot of blood, a lot of good, just dark humor.
Yeah.
Opening segment is great. It's the only thing I'm going to spoil for you a little bit. Well, not spoil any of the movie for you, but the opening is what you kind of seen the trailer there, where he's just sitting at the bar and he's just drinking, and the bartender goes, "You're not driving home, are you?" He goes, "Yeah, I sit there a little bit, but the Ranger do most of the driving," and everybody starts laughing at him. And then, of course, after he's done drinking, he gets up and he takes the roof exit. And the bartender's like, "What the hell? You can't go up there, man!" And as soon as she walks up there, she sees him flying, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And she's got such a hopeful look on her face. And then, of course, he's been drinking, so she goes, and it all just smacks her in the face. And it's like, yes. It's a great opening.
I should have seen that. Went and seen that today. I actually ended up seeing Wakanda Forever.
Oh, okay.
Holy fuck, was that a long ass movie?
So it lasted forever?
I heard that
Was
it
it
opened
good?
well and ended well, but a lot of it's a lot of drag.
Yes.
Okay.
What's the name of the movie?
It's the new Black Panther movie, Wakanda Forever.
Oh, yeah, I heard it's a long, drawn out.
Holy fuck balls. You're absolutely right, Nick. That's a good review. It opens great and it finishes great, but there's a whole lot of holy fuck, this is taking forever in the middle.
Like most porn.
Yeah. You guys talking about? Were you talking about Denise Crosby? Is that what you were talking about?
Yes.
In porn, there's a lot of. Damn it! I should have waited.
Oh, she's the niece.
It's not the granddaughter, so that's what you guys were wrong, and it messed me all up. She's the niece.
Okay.
Bing Crosby.
I'm gonna blame it on my COVID brain. Okay.
Gary Crosby's the one that wrote the book about his dad being a dick.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, we know, Sherry, the show needs a lot of editing, but we just let it ramble.
I think she's talking about Wakanda Forever. I will say they did a phenomenal job honoring Chadwick Boseman through the movie. They did a really nice job. I think they handled it really well. So, yeah, it definitely sets up the future iterations of Black Panther sequels and stuff. So, we'll see.
Okay. Jeremy asks, did you want to?
No, go ahead, Matt.
Serious question. Now that we are beyond the Lord of the Rings era, and I know what you mean, what is a long movie? Is 2 or 3 hour the big mark?
Yeah, 3 for me.
I still kind of believe what George Lucas said is that 2 hours, 20 minutes is the sweet spot of all movies, because that's the longest you can really go without needing a bathroom break.
But what would he know?
What would he know? Yeah. But yeah, the last movie I can remember even had an intermission was Braveheart, and that was 27 years ago. And
Jesus, really?
Yeah. 95.
I think there is something to that. Under 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think when it gets to 2:30, that is the exact moment when you're just kind of because when you're going to the 2 hour mark,
had that big soda.
I think the 2 hour mark, you're kind of okay, this is, things should be wrapping up, or you think that in your mind, because let's face it, we've watched so many 2 hour movies. I think 2 hours is the standard, so that, if you want to put a cherry on top of that and give me 12 more minutes, okay. But once we get to 2 hours and a half,
I think it depends on.
It depends.
It depends on the movie. I was the right stuff.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It depends on is it an epic journey? You can deal with Lord of the Rings or Right Stuff, which deals with a lot of history, a lot of time passing. But you get to a point where if it's just a simple plot, if it goes beyond 2 hours 20 minutes, and it's dude, then you have failed as an editor. Because
if it hit The Godfather. The Godfather's a long movie. They wanted to make it a really short movie, but it's a great movie. It's never boring.
Matt Kay's saying Avatar is 25 hours long. Fuck that shit. Jesus.
Are you surprised? I'm not surprised.
I mean,
I can't wait for this movie to end.
I understand if you want to make a TV series, just make a really good damn TV series. I'll watch the 25 hours at home. Thank you very much.
Well, I think movies now.
Oh, there's
are
a
easier.
Space there. Never mind.
I think longer movies are easier to watch now because of TV, because you can go
pause it.
Yeah.
We talked about before, back when HBO first came out and you had long movies, they literally give you 3 minutes halfway through to go pee. So you could go, but you couldn't stop the movie.
All right, Jeremy. You're not directing this episode here, buddy. You're asking a lot of good questions, but I'm saying no.
I mean,
I don't know.
He's
if we're
probably
really
spawning the best conversations we've
That's
had.
true.
So he's doing a pretty damn good job, if you ask me.
But
Well
are
done,
we really
Jeremy.
past the Lord of the Rings era, because you had Endgame, which
Yeah.
was 3 hours,
which
and
never ended.
no, I'm just thinking that when I go into that movie, though, I'm already thinking, okay,
Right.
where am I going to bow out?
What was funny about Endgame is I remember I was probably 3 or 4 days late to watching that, compared to when it was released. And I remember someone put up somewhere online, it's like, when is the right time to take the bathroom break in Endgame? And it was like, okay, when you get to the scene where Tony is talking with his wife, wait for this and then leave.
And the problem is
you've got
everyone
roughly
got up
6 minutes to take a break and then
but
come
everyone
back.
got up at the same time, so the line was like 12 minutes long.
Right.
I didn't see it. Who's in it? I didn't see it. I don't think I did.
You didn't see Endgame?
Did I?
I don't know if you've ever marveled.
No. Probably.
I mean, you haven't watched a lot of the Marvels.
No.
You watched Civil War, didn't you? I mean,
Yeah,
not Civil War, but
Civil War's great. Yeah, Captain America Civil War. Yeah.
Ken Burns.
Oh, Ken Burns. Yeah.
No, I mean,
did watch that.
Captain America. You watched Captain America?
I love Captain America.
That's where my daughter and I are at right now. It's at Civil War for her watching of Marvel.
That's an intense one with the deaths.
Yeah,
the kill scene.
She had to take a minute. And
Yeah,
we haven't gone back to watching Marvel in a couple months.
that's an intense kill scene in that movie. I remember. So
let's get to Jeremy's question.
Wait.
Is he still talking?
No, he's just saying so also, do you think Avatar 2 is too late and maybe too amphibious too late? I wasn't a fan of the first one because it was too much like Fern Gully and Dance of the Wolves and everything else. It was just kind of like
I loved it. I had a brownie and it kicked in halfway through, and they were jumping on.
There's a lot of floating shit. And blue people.
Matt.
Yeah, I could totally get you.
I liked it. I didn't think it was great.
Oh, you don't see me?
Not you. I see you too, man. I see you too. But I
see how it is. Jeez.
Avatar was fine. I think I saw it twice in theaters.
So here's the thing. Like, I don't necessarily understand the average Avatar hate. Sure, it was a copy of another story, no doubt, which is most movies are. But when that movie came out, it was fucking groundbreaking.
Yeah, it was the whole first kickoff of the 3D.
It was the most unbelievably
no
fucking visual experience that you could have at the time. Right. And when you go to an IMAX theater even, or a 3D theater, and watching that movie, you're fucking transported into Avatar, which is that is 80% of the movie for me. It's just being enveloped in that. And I feel like that kind of thing has kind of gone away. I don't know if it doesn't have that sparkle anymore. I don't think. Because it's been done 150,000 times.
It depends on the story.
Yeah,
Right.
this time they're underwater.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
When you see something, like I said, A New Hope was great.
Well,
I guess some of the movies weren't so great.
Right. I guess that's what worries me about James Cameron is he tying his to that star or whatever you call it, that phrase, because Avatar to me was not something no one even talks about it today.
No,
the first one.
You're right.
And it's of all of his movies, people still talk about Terminator or Aliens or it's but Avatar to me was oh yeah, that was cool, but I'm never gonna be like, oh my god, Avatar was so good.
I've never heard anyone say it's their favorite movie or even in the top 10.
Right. I mean, I think when it came out, people probably said that, but that goes back to the whole like what's not lasting. Because the only reason
this tattoo, I got this huge Avatar tattoo all over my chest. God damn it!
Like I think the reason why
was it a tramp stamp?
The reason why it hasn't hung on, and this is my humble opinion, the reason why it hasn't hung on as anyone's favorite movie is because the sparkle, the magic of being enveloped in the story is over. Right, you're not going to get that experience watching it at home.
You don't know me, man. You don't know me. You don't know me at all.
And also, wasn't Avatar 2 like the like one of the most expensive movies ever made, or something crazy like that?
Probably is, yeah.
Yeah, so, it's a lot, yeah.
Then why is it that I have not realized it's coming out in 2 days until today? Like, that's another thing
it's
too.
The new gotcha cinema.
I'm gonna be honest with you, like I had no fucking clue Avatar 2 was being released next week until I got to the movie theater today and saw a trailer for it.
It's like
that's wild to me.
Like the new Disney cartoon that's out right now. Like my dad called me. He's like, "Hey, did you hear about this movie that completely flopped from Disney?" I'm like, "What is it?" And I didn't even know what it's called, but I was like, "I've never even fucking heard of it."
It was
like, no wonder it flopped.
It cost $140 million. That's all I know.
Yeah, but I was like, okay, I mean, like sometimes they do it to themselves. It's kind of like with we've talked about this on Own and Peruse, like with the Solo. Solo could have been a much better film, but they should just wait another 6 months to release it because people didn't want to see it because they hated The Last Jedi so much. So people were like, you know what, screw it. And they tried to blame Solo as being a failure. I'm like,
it was also pitted between Deadpool and Endgame.
Right.
So even the launch of it was just like going up, like, okay, you go to the movies for a roller coaster ride. Like, it's like, okay, you're going to spend 3 weekends out of your life going to roller coaster rides. So you're going to pick one,
Right.
So
going to Chris's question, maybe it's because the pandemic killed the movie industry as far as,
I hope not.
What I'm saying is your go-to. I look for, what was it, 2 years later, you could finally start going to the movies again. Right. And even when you had to wear a mask and you had your popcorn would stick into your mask and stuff like that.
But at the same time, though, Jack, like, what's different now?
Nicole Kidman told me different, Jack.
One of the biggest things that's different now versus when Avatar 2 or first one came out is that the amount of access that we have to digital marketing in our hands is immense. Like, it's incredible. Yeah. And the fact that the sequel to one of the biggest and most expensive movies in the world and one of the currently most expensive movies in theater today is releasing in 2 days, and granted, I mean, maybe it's not part of my algorithm, but I haven't seen a fucking thing about it, like, at all. Like, when Avatar 1 came out, it was everywhere. It was
because I don't think they advertise movies like they used to.
No, I mean,
because they go straight. How many times it's like it's out for 2 weeks and it's on TV.
That's true. On HBO. They come up way too fast.
This podcast is brought to you by the movie industry, and that's why we're going to take a commercial break.
Yeah.
Whoops.
But
fucking Jeremy's fault.
Yeah,
I do blame Jeremy. If he wants to direct the podcast, he should say commercial break time. Damn it.
Survivor. Excellent.
You need to go listen to this.
This is not that podcast.
No.
He said Jeremy's in charge. I
don't think so.
No one cares about Survivor.
I actually have the power to kick Jeremy
out. The Survivor.
So thanks for joining us live, Jeremy. Goodbye.
Is not here.
But like I said, going back to Avatar in movies, it's because we got out of a habit of going to the movies, and like Chris said, it's so much easier to watch a movie at home now. You have surround sound, you have your big screen TV. You don't have to go.
And
to the
HBO
theater.
Max spoiled me because
I enjoy going to the movies. I like the movie experience. I like hearing the audience gasp or laugh, or I like having that experience.
I like smelling other people's farts.
When it comes to sports, though, depending on what sports game it is, I do prefer sometimes watching it at home because it's one, I don't want to pay $200 something or whatever for a ticket up in the fucking bleachers with the binoculars. When I can just watch it on TV, it's way better. If I do go, it's kind of like we talked about Jack. When I lived in LA, I'd go to Dodger Stadium all the time because you're getting a hot dog, you're getting peanuts, you're getting all. I want the experience. And yes, I mean, of course, I love watching baseball at the stadium, whereas in football, I think it's better on TV. But
100%.
I agree, but it's funny. I do miss going to football games, and I do miss that experience.
I think there's more to the camaraderie of like tailgating, having a good time,
Yeah.
and then going into the game is different, which is
For
weird
football.
because we don't have that for baseball here. I know in some places they have that for baseball, but Fenway Park is not suitable for tailgating because there's nowhere to fucking park.
right.
That's the same thing
And nobody's doing Freemason meetings anymore. I mean, it's like, come on.
They're happening. They're happening. You should see
They're
them.
happening.
Yeah.
So,
They're down in the basement.
a little callback.
It's a callback to the part of the episode, Jack, that which you were absent from.
It just out of the blue. So I'm just like
that is a random thing to say. If you were
okay.
here
I was like, what the fuck is that? But like you're saying about tailgating.
I'm not good.
Back in the day, you could tailgate at Padre games because they had the huge parking lot and nobody was at the games. Now it's Petco. There is no you have to park away. There's no tailgating, and it's like I know when I went to Baltimore, they have a small section for tailgating before the game because tailgating, especially for football,
well,
it's the best.
To be fair, it's Baltimore. You're probably gonna get robbed if you tailgate. So
true.
Actually, it's those fans are great. I'm telling you,
it's because they're confined to that smaller area.
I guess so. They're used to being in a cage, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm just reading this now. Matt K says it has to make $2 billion to break even.
Wow.
That's what?
It's gonna fail.
Yeah.
Okay, now think about Disney bought Star Wars and Lucasfilm for $4 billion. And it's just crazy. It's just fucking nuts.
Well, I mean, Lucas, I think, didn't really care about the number.
Is that counting merchant?
I think there was someone at the time saying he could have sold it for $10 billion if he really wanted to.
Probably.
He was like, he goes, I'm ready to be done with it.
And Sherry also points out that she has just heard about it 2 days ago too. So it's
crazy.
I like going to the movie. I like going to the Alamo Draft House because you get food. You got plenty of room. I can't go to a theater that doesn't have nice seating anymore. I couldn't do it.
Oh yeah, I did. Going back to Violent Night, I did have the guy to the right of me. It's close to telling him to shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. We missed part of that, and I thought a guy was revealing himself to you.
No. Yeah.
And I liked
it.
It was better than the movie.
It moved, Jerry.
Most of the time I
Jingle
enjoy.
bells.
I just saw that episode. It moved.
Jingle all the way, buddy.
Nick, is that 3? Is that 3?
Silent Night.
Okay.
Do I have to give him money? Is it got little red cup there, and I got to give him money too? Because
Well, that is Pee Wee Herman.
I was sitting. I had the
lap.
unfortunate experience of sitting between the two worst stereotypical type of people that go to the movies. And
Sweatpants and trench coat.
Yeah, well, no, not that bad. But so the woman to the left of me was one of those cheapskates that did have the big coat, and when she opened it up, she had like the aluminum can Coke, had all of her food brought with her that smelled. Okay, I love how you guys are distracted by the image of.
I'm listening.
It's just gonna take me a while to get past sweatpants and trench coat.
An old single eye. Yeah.
And there's your title for the episode.
Which one?
I don't know. Which one did you sit on? Okay. Sorry. Nick, was that 3? Is that 3?
That's definitely 3, Matt.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna get ejected from the show.
Right, so anyway,
the lady that's the cheapskate. I was listening.
I had the cheapskate lady with the smelly food to the left of me, and then to the guy on the right was the guy that had to announce everything that's going to happen in the movie 2 seconds before it happened in the movie. So it's like one of the things that's interesting also about Violent Night is it does make very, very subtle homages to other action films that are taking place during Christmas. So there's a Home Alone section. There's a Die
Hard.
Hard section. There's a lot of things like that, which are pretty cool.
White Christmas? Wait, Bing Crosby?
Action film.
Okay, all right,
film.
gotcha.
Anyway, so like,
so Violent Night, he's beating his son up. Is that Bing Crosby?
yeah. But like,
Do
it
it
was just
again,
one of those
Danny.
things. Like, the thing is that like you could see like all his family that was with him kept shushing him because he would do that. It's like, dude, do you not get the fucking point? Shut the fuck up. But anyway, we've all
That's
been.
why you go. That's why you go to Alamo Draft House, because nobody talks. Because if you talk, you're out of there.
Well, for me today, I was one of 3 people in the theater, and it was glorious.
What were you wearing?
Yeah, what were you?
He had sweatpants and a trench coat.
Okay, double duty.
I had jeans.
Trench coat forever.
Trench coat forever.
Oh my god! You're talking about cheapskates, so I do sneak in alcohol at the Alamo Draft House because I just get a Coke. And pour my
I
own
can't
drink.
do the whole drinking and go to the movies thing. I fall asleep.
Sometimes it makes the
Every
movie-
single time.
Sometimes it makes the movies better.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
I mean,
Like,
12
if
Years
I
a Slave
drink,
was
I'm gonna
hilarious
take a nap.
when I was drunk.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Wednesday yet on Netflix?
No.
No, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I've only seen the first
What
episode, and I liked
day does it
yeah.
come out?
I think they drop on Tuesday.
That's weird.
No.
Wait, does it come out on
Netflix.
Wednesdays?
No, Netflix comes out all one time.
Oh.
Oh yeah, the Addams Family girl.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually pretty good. Because I like dark humor, so it's right up my alley. And then of course the new Mythic Quest episode just dropped about an hour ago.
I had an Abbott and Costello last night with Jay because I was talking about Ghost. We're at the Survivor get-together thing.
You talking about the
And,
movie or the show?
Huh?
You talking about Ghost? We said.
Ghost the TV show. I said,
Oh,
we're talking about TV shows, stuff like that. I go, have you seen Ghost? He goes, we started Wednesday. I go, you just started watching it Wednesday. He was talking about the Wednesday
I see,
thing.
yeah.
I go, because you could barely hear it. It's like, anyway, go ahead.
You started it Wednesday?
What? Wednesday? He goes, no, Wednesday. I go,
Huh?
what? Anyway.
We're just gonna be Aquafina.
It was
actresses.
released on a Wednesday, says Sherry. That's pretty cool.
Okay, well that's
Smack.
good.
Well, that's good. That's good marketing. Avatar should have released it on Avatar Day.
In 2007.
Yeah. I can't believe that you have to make it, but is that counting merchandise? $2 billion?
No, that's got to be the movie. The movie.
I think we've discussed just
Oh, you
speaking
mean-
of merchandise. I know
Yeah.
we've talked about it. I think we've talked about this before. Have you guys ever watched the documentary, The Toys That Made Us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I just watched like last night before last, the one about Star Wars toys, and I was like,
Oh, it's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's fun. And
Yeah.
Cincinnati and Kenner.
Yeah,
and,
the
How was a
Kenner and
complete
other-
clusterfuck that almost like
Yeah.
completely tanked.
I just couldn't get over the original deal of like they only made like 5% of everything. Like Lucas only made 5% of everything.
Right.
Kenner, I was like,
Yeah, he
damn,
fucked
what a
himself.
sweet deal. You know?
Yeah. Well, that whole series, the Toys That Made Us, is great. The movies that made us is awesome too. If you haven't watched any of those, I do like that. How movies are made. Like my daughter has probably watched the How Movies Are Made episode of Back to the Future about 78 times.
Wow.
That's a really cool. It's a really cool show. I completely enjoy it.
There's one
But-
for Elf as well. It's really good.
Yeah.
So
Like I learned that like there's one for Home Alone. Like
Mhm.
Home Alone was actually filmed. Like they built the set for Home Alone
in the high
Inside-
school.
inside the high school that the Breakfast Club was
Right.
filmed in,
Yeah.
Right.
as well as Ferris Bueller, which is fucking
Right.
cool. Like
Mhm.
just
Is that
Cool
where
little-
Judd Nelson? Is that Judd Nelson still there? Because you haven't seen him since the Breakfast Club.
He had so many
Yeah,
detentions, dude. Like he
He was on that one TV show.
kept asking for more, so he's
Yeah.
just been there.
Stop!
Going back to Violent Night, Chris, when you guys watch Violent Night, when you get to the Home Alone homage, it's a holy shit moment. Like,
Oh.
because whereas in everything that in Home Alone was fairly tame, like no one died. It's like this one, you're like, fuck.
It's just vilely, like violent.
Well, the thing is that it's gonna
Vilely violent.
No matter what you think, when you
title.
know when it's gonna happen, like you know it's coming, and then you think in your mind like, oh, this is, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, shit! Like that's what you're gonna get.
Well,
I thought that's what you looked like when you sat next to the guy in the trench coat.
Yeah. Oh yeah!
Oh,
Yeah!
All right, I'll sit on your lap. Not that there's anything wrong with it.
Oh boy. Okay, Home Alone 1, 2, 3. Which is the best for Christmas? 3 doesn't exist, so get that fucking shit right off your list.
Yeah, it's one.
Is there
There's only
Number
one. It's one.
No,
Yeah,
2 is pretty great. I'm gonna throw my neck out there. I'll say 2 is pretty great.
It does have Donald Trump. So
It does.
Okay, but number 1 has John Candy.
That's true.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's like
But 2's got Tim Curry.
That's true.
I take John Candy over Tim Curry.
I mean, Home Alone 1 is fucking amazing. There's no doubt about it. Like that's obviously the number 1. But Home Alone 2 is great. I think it's actually an underrated movie. I really like it.
I've only seen it a couple times, but Home Alone 1 I've seen several times.
Like I wanted a talk boy in the worst way. The little handheld thing.
Oh yeah.
That was like the big seller that Christmas season.
Have you guys seen that?
John Candy is greater than Trump. Yes, Matt, that is true. Oh, fun fact. John Candy.
No, I'm much better than Candy.
So John Candy did that movie as a favor to what's his name? John Hughes.
John Hughes.
And he was like, and he didn't want to he wanted to do it for free. He didn't want to take any money, but because of his acting union, the Screen Actors Guild,
right,
he had to take the minimum wage. So he opted to take the minimum wage. So John Candy made like something like $300 for Home Alone.
Same as like,
which is funny because the guy who delivered the pizzas in the opening scene made more money than John Candy did on that movie, which is pretty funny.
It's the same as like with it's Wolf of Wall Street. John, what's his name? The curly haired guy. Anyway, he same thing. He wanted to work.
I would say Seth Rogen, but it's not Seth Rogen.
It's not Seth Rogen. It's the other one. Yeah.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah, Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill wanted so badly to work with Martin Scorsese and Leo DiCaprio that he took the union's minimum, which is $60,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so that's all he made off of that movie.
Really?
Yeah. Thank you, Matt Treist, as well.
And he used that money to get his name legally changed.
Yeah, to Hill. Yeah,
to Hill. So actually, when you read about it, it's like, oh yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you just do that?
Right.
So, yeah.
I love Home Alone. Home Alone's a great movie.
I mean, all John Hughes films are amazing in a way.
That could be a versus.
What's really crazy is I saw an article the other day which made me feel fucking old as shit because someone was like, the lost, forgotten John Hughes film, The Great Outdoors. I'm like, I know the fucking Great Outdoors. It's fucking awesome. What's wrong with you? Like, but I'm like, oh yeah, I forget it was made in the 80s. You know,
oh yeah, The Great Outdoors. It's been a while since I've seen that one.
John Candy
it's
and
so good. Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd,
yeah. No, I know I've seen it. It's just
John Candy, right?
The 86er.
Yeah, the 96er. The old 96er. Yeah.
I always remember Dan Aykroyd like trimming his nose hairs in one of the scenes. Like,
if you haven't read Ready Player 2 yet, there's a
got it up on the shelf. I haven't read it yet.
There's a really good homage to John Hughes. Like, there's actually like a section of the story takes place in like a John Hughes world. And they do a really nice job with it. So it's a good little nostalgic trip.
I even like his last film, and people always kind of shit on it, which was Curly Sue.
It's adorable.
It's adorable, yeah. But people are always like, "Well, it's not as good." It's like
Is that Nicolas Cage in that?
No, it's
he doesn't play Curly Sue.
It's Belushi, James Belushi, and the hot woman from
Hot woman from
I know I've seen it.
Kelly Lynn.
Roadhouse. Yeah, Kelly.
Oh, okay. Oh, Kirk Cameron wanted her fired.
Steve Carell.
Steve
That's right,
Carell's
he
in
is.
that one?
He's the waiter. That's right. Or the
Huh.
the maitre
Wow.
d' or whatever. Yeah,
Oh wow.
Been a while since I've seen that.
yeah. Carlos Street's pretty good. Actually, the ones to me that don't hold up as well are the romantic comedies like Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles. Like those are the ones that I tend to.
Yeah, nobody watches those today.
Yeah.
Nobody watches them.
Yeah.
Because James Spader.
When was the last time you heard of anybody watching 16 Candles?
Okay, so our local movie theater puts on old movies. So
how many people went?
I don't know.
Sherry.
I didn't go.
That's right, Sherry.
But they have these brew, and they have a wine and a brew one that they'll do. And so they typically will do a wine kind of thing for like a more of a romantic comedy, and then they'll do a brew and view with like Die Hard or stuff that's like more action.
It's been a while since I've seen either one of those movies.
But I think they did 16 Candles recently, and they may have done Pretty in Pink. So I just don't think we're the audience for that. I'm just putting that out there.
Pretty in Pink has what's his name? He was part of the Rat Pack or Brat Pack.
Brat Pack. Yeah.
What's his name?
Pizza Rat.
No.
Remember the New York Pizza Rat?
What's
Oh
the
man,
actor's name?
2015. So simple.
Like the target audience for 16 Candles rewatchers are like females from age 48 to 65, and they none of them know how to use Netflix.
It's true.
By the way, MC 954 Concerts 23. I don't know who you are,
That's
but
Miami
I just
Mike.
want to let you
Miami
know.
Mike, yeah.
Miami Mike.
He's got two accounts now.
I'm just fucking with them. I don't live in Indianapolis. I left that city a long time ago.
Just in Indiana.
Speaking of concerts, getting in line online for tickets next week for concert tickets for Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks live.
No, I know.
Go with Billy. Billy still has his voice. You know, Stevie is kind of, it's not quite Bob Dylan, but she's getting there.
She's like 70 something, though, isn't she?
I mean, they're all getting up there, Jack.
Well, not one of
They're
them.
not quite as old as Matt, but
Someone stopped. One of them stopped, right, Chris?
I'm going to hell.
You know what? If that makes you feel better, fine. Okay. You know, I got my barb in earlier.
Sherry's daughter is 30 and still like 6 candles. So there you go.
Oh,
Chris.
all right.
Wrong.
Fair enough. I stand corrected.
What was the other one? Oh, Pretty in Pink. Yeah, Pretty in Pink. What's the guy's name? He was in all the movies, and then
the guy that plays Ducky.
Not Ducky. The guy
okay.
that was the preppy that James Spader was like, you can't spend her because he actually loved Molly Ringwald.
Is it Anthony Michael Hall?
No, not Anthony Michael Hall. No.
Was it Nicolas Cage?
No. Matthew. He was
Jonah Hill.
that was
John Cryer.
No, that's Ducky.
John Candy.
No, not John Candy. Matthew. What's his name? Come on, someone.
What are we talking about?
He was his first movie was
Snapjack.
Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy. His first
yeah.
movie was
Weekend
with
Bernie's.
Rob Lowe in Class.
Pretty sure it was Cocaine Bear.
Actually, his first role was for a movie called The Barnacle Gang. Yeah.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
his first major role was with Rob Lowe and an all-star cast of young actors who are now. John Cusack was. Have you guys ever seen Class?
No.
Jacqueline Bisset.
I always thought that was weird, like, because Andrew McCarthy had a lot of good films. You know, I mean, not that they're great, but like, you know, you had Weekend at Bernie's, you had Mannequin. He had in the 80s. He was a hit,
and he just disappeared.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I couldn't even remember his name, and he was part of the Brat Pack.
What was that movie?
I don't know if Jeremy's leaving us, but go ahead.
Some Kind of Wonderful.
You go
Was
ahead
that
and
movie?
have a great holiday season. Yeah, I liked Some Kind of Wonderful. I like that movie.
Mary
He
Stuart.
was also
Masterson.
in Samuel's Fire too. I think.
That was it came out
Yes,
right around
yeah.
the time when my dad had like HBO, so I remember it being on like you know that first time when you get HBO or Showtime and you're like, it doesn't matter what movie's on, you're just watching it because it's a movie, you know.
Yeah, it had,
remember those days? I mean, now you just
Casey Jones is in that movie.
practically anything.
I used to record all the movies
Me too.
My dad did the same thing.
That's what you did, dude.
I would do it from the. I actually did it from the. I have the HBO theme going in and do the whole movie, do the credits.
You go buy a 4-pack. You go buy a 4-pack of 8-hour VHS from Walmart for nothing every Saturday night, 8:00. Put that fucker in. You got 4 movies on one tape.
Yep.
Unless you wanted the higher quality, and then you put it on SP. You didn't put it on EP. You put it on the SP when Star Wars was higher quality.
I've talked about it before. My first VCR was a JVC and cost over $1,000.
Isn't that crazy?
Is it a top loader?
Yes, and it had a wire remote, and it lasted over 20 something years.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean, it piece because Jay, I gave it to ended up giving it to Jay, and he used it. A piece broke that they didn't make anymore, and that's why you couldn't. That's what stopped it. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a TV director now.
Oh, look, okay. Miami Mike got his name back. Oh no, what horrible thing is going to happen to the RCADers? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Jeremy's meaning, but he says, "Don't know how many RCADs are left, but please, everyone, have a great holiday season."
Oh, you too, Jeremy.
In between now and Christmas, is
I think.
Oh,
or he's
at least one. Yeah.
How many more
he's a hitman.
Yeah.
So
could be. True. And you were the rudest to him.
You were.
What?
So
yeah,
Matt would be first.
No.
Yeah, Jack. I hate that you missed my song. Like I think you would have thought it was the best one yet.
Okay, I'll have to go back and listen to it.
He wrote it himself. He worked really hard on it, and if you don't listen to it, he's gonna know because there's gonna be a quiz on this next week.
Okay, I will definitely listen because I'm all into quizzes.
Did you guys ever watch? It's a couple years ago. It's the movie called Krampus, which is
I watched
horror film.
I watched some of it.
Yeah, it's a cheesy horror film. Yeah. But yeah, it's basically
that's still an old like German lore.
It's German and Austria. Yeah, I actually
doesn't Dwight talk about that?
Yeah,
Krampus. The 5th of December is Krampus night, and then the 6th is St. Nicholas Day, which was the original
those Germans
Germanic
know how to have
holiday,
fun.
and then the Catholics took it over and put it on the 25th.
We're gonna start a war.
Well, because you gotta compete with solstice. You're pushing out those pagans. So.
Nice.
I just watched it last night. Wow.
Yeah.
That gets you in the holiday.
It's super cheesy, but I still liked it. Yeah, I mean
it's like the Leprechaun movie of Christmas.
Yeah.
Speaking of Warwick Davis, have you guys seen Willow? Sorry, I'm just.
Jeremy says,
"Are you high?"
No. Jeremy says it's 1 in a million for real, Jack. No Legos. Awesome chorus. We were all singing together. Bestest, beautifulest song, I swear.
See? And all Jeremy knows.
If Jeremy doesn't, plus Jeremy's a hitman, so I want to keep him happy. I want to be 4th on the list. So, I'll go back and listen.
It's very positive.
Don't know how many of us are left.
Yeah.
Hashtag KJH. Keep Jeremy happy.
Not only do I have to produce the show, I have to do the song now because I'm the only one left. Jeez, great. Who would have thought that the oldest guy would be the only one left?
Tried to convince the other guys to take the password.
Yeah, you fucking failed.
Yeah, I'm just going to email it to our listeners.
To be fair, I've said this before, Matt. The other two should jump in and just produce. All you have to do is just.
You know what? I'll produce if Jack writes and sings a song every week, and then Matt writes out the notes.
Okay, fair.
Okay, hold on a second.
But
Nick,
wait,
you think people are really listening for your song?
Well, I wanted to quit roughly a month after I started.
Jack's
doing it.
done.
Every time I don't come with a song, I have to hear it I know song.
Although it should be said though that your music on this show has inspired me to bend to the will of my daughter and get her an ukulele for Christmas.
There you go.
I bought her one today or yesterday.
Get some ukulele stock right now because Nick's songs.
I mean, it's a fun little instrument. It's easy to learn.
It is. I wish I could play it.
And the thing that's great about music, it doesn't matter. it changes the way your brain works. You know. What did I? Oh.
I don't know what 69.
Nice.
So is that what it was? Freemason was oral sex?
No.
Mike and I were on the same thing. We were both thinking of what could the password be. So
Right.
yeah. There's no
Shit
sheep.
pipe, more like sheep pipe.
Sheep is not in the password. Don't try to guess sheep.
Sheep
So
Mason
it's
69.
Sheep Mason.
All
That's
right,
the
to be-
fucking
to be-
episode title. Sheep Mason 69.
All right.
The password is.
To be fair, I came up with the password. I got to be honest with you. It's only been
You don't
like 3
remember
weeks.
it?
I can't remember it. I'm like going, what is the password? Because Colleen asked me, I go, maybe I think Matt knows.
Yeah.
It's in our texting
Yeah,
thread.
we
You can
guessed.
just
Yeah, we guessed
copy
and got it
in.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I could go back and look at that.
Yeah.
I always remember the Owen and Baruz one because it's
That. Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Matt Treese also putting forward 69, 69, 420, 420. So.
Oh, they know us well.
It's going to be one of those Mission Impossible things that we
Nancy
just keep
Reagan blows
passing.
password.
If you guys keep putting these ideas out there, you're going to guess it.
So I saw a TikTok video on
Of Nancy Reagan getting a blowjob?
DIY Lazy Susan, and it made me crack up. But it's actually pretty brilliant. They took 2 plates, right, like plastic plates. They put a bunch of marbles on top of one plate. And they put the other plate on top of the marbles, and it's a perfect Lazy Susan. You put it in your cabinet and spin it around because it's like a
I've
ball
seen
bearing.
those. Yeah,
The
yeah.
plate,
that's
the plate
brilliant.
doesn't fall. The plate doesn't fall off.
I mean, in that 30-second video on TikTok, it looked pretty sturdy.
Right. This is bullshit.
Got marbles all over the place. Do kids still play with marbles? Is that a thing? Is it?
Oh, those kind of marbles.
Because that was the thing when I was a kid. Marbles.
Yeah, last time I played marbles was with you, Jack.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We played jacks and marbles, right? Because I'm sure kids don't play jacks anymore either, do they?
I mean, somebody likes to play with
Hey,
marbles. I'm just saying. But, yeah.
Probably parents don't let their kids play with jacks because they could
Only at
Either
the
a
movie
hand-
theater, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
probably too dangerous for the kids to pick up a jack. They might lose an eye or something like that. So
Or
the parents
swallow
don't let
it.
them play anymore.
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't know
awesome.
how you watch kids as you do.
I'm just saying.
They bounce right back.
I mean,
Yeah.
your kids have entrusted you with their kids.
Hey, I didn't ask them to.
It's a lot of jack shit.
And the worst thing is this weekend, because usually I'm all excited by Friday because I go, okay, I got 2 days off. Well, tomorrow we're going to Saturday. We're going to Disney on Ice at 10 o'clock, which is something I didn't want to do. Skating show. And then after that, we're having all the grandkids over except the newest one. They come over, they spend the night. We make cookies, all that fun stuff. Because bring memories. And my wife goes, "It's memories for the grandkids." I go, "I see them all the time."
I've got enough fucking memories to last me a
Yeah,
lifetime.
it's no big deal to me. And then my granddaughter has a ballet
what's the
recital
oldest-
on Sunday.
Yeah,
Jay's-
what's the
Zach's the
what's the oldest granddaughter's name again? The one you taught to
Ava.
swear.
Ava Rose. Yes.
Yeah, Ava Rose. Just wait, Jack. Because you're gonna have a few more before and then when Ava gets to a certain age, she can be like the responsible one who's like watching over the other ones, and she can just be like, "Ah, God damn it, just get your," just yelling at the other kids, and then you can be like, "That's my granddaughter."
Well, now I've taught them how to talk about poop and all that stuff, so their
see.
parents are real happy.
Yeah.
Well, I found on Alexa there's a song, a fart song, and so now we play that all day long because they like the fart song. Just a fart guy talking about farts and he's farting the whole time. My wife goes, "Why do you do that?" I go, "They're happy.
Just poop is funny.
They're happy."
I forgot. I booked a
Okay,
trip
Mike.
to Disney.
Oh,
World or land?
Ish. Disney-ish.
Disney-ish.
Not I booked a family
Euro
trip.
Disney?
It's actually our first like family
It's Massachusetts
World
Disney,
or
guys.
land?
world.
World. Okay.
Yeah, it's our first real trip, flying with the kids.
Mm.
So it should be interesting. But we're going to we're not staying on Disney. I'm actually only doing one day at Disney World. We're not going to do a whole full thing because with my son who's 3, it's just kind of like me dragging him by his collar throughout the parks. But we're staying at this this place, like a water park and family resort outside of in Orlando that we're gonna go through in February vacation, which I'm pretty stoked about. The problem is, like for me, like the book a vacation to Disney. Disney World is already like they rake you over the coals, right? Because it's the fucking most expensive thing in the world.
Welcome to Cocaine Land.
But at the same time, the only time that we can go, because my wife works in a school, is on school vacations. So I get like DP'd when it comes to the booking a trip here. Like it's like you get it from both ends. Again? Like you get fucking screwed. With
what month are you going?
February.
Oh, okay. That's okay. That's not a bad month to go.
Yeah.
Well, it's literally twice as expensive as any other time.
But it won't be hot. It won't be hot and humid.
Because December is always the worst time.
Usually the summertime's the worst in Florida because nobody wants to go with it so hot, especially when they were wearing masks.
It's school vacation week though, so it's like
February?
It's everything. Oh yeah.
But for
vacations in
probably
February.
Maybe it's
midwinter recess.
Okay, maybe that's just for you though.
President's Day.
Because we don't have a February break.
We do.
Assassination Day. That's how Nick celebrates it.
Back and to the left.
That was Lincoln. I mean, that was the other guy.
But I'm kind of faced with the same thing, Chris. Because we've discussed this, and it's such a hard thing when having a parent. And I bounce around like with teaching as well, but most of the time my classes are on 2 days a week, so I could sneak in a 3-day getaway, or I could actually have 1 day off. And what are you,
Miami Mike?
Oh, Disney DP. You never want that with Mickey and Goofy.
Nope.
One's wearing sweatpants and one's wearing a trench coat. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate that.
I mean, Donald Duck, so just free balling it everywhere.
Yeah, he's not wearing any pants at all.
The feathers cover it. You ever seen a duck's penis?
Maybe he doesn't have a penis. Maybe, you know what? Have we ever seen Daisy Duck and Donald Duck in the room at the same time?
Yeah.
Have we? Really?
I'm glad I'm doing this on the old RCAD. But
maybe they're the same person.
Could be.
And where did the Huey, Dewey, and Louie come from?
Makes me think of Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
Do you ever find Bugs Bunny attractive?
She was pretty hot. I mean, that's a movie I haven't seen in a long time. Wayne's World.
Wayne's World is a great movie.
Excellent.
You're talking about 16 Candles and Pretty in Pink. I haven't seen Wayne's World in probably 10 years.
Oh, yeah. If it's on, I'll watch it. Yeah.
There's no reason why. I just haven't. Either it's not on, and I don't click on. I'm sure it's on one of the streaming services I have.
My favorite. No, that was different. That's not Deep Thoughts. Yeah, no. Well, the one Deep Thoughts I always. Yeah, the one deep thought. Miami Mike's talking about it. Like the one deep thoughts I always remember is every now and then when it rains outside, my kid will ask me, "Why is it raining?" And I say, "Because God is crying." And then they reply, "Why is God crying?" And I say, "Probably because of something you did."
It's all your fucking fault.
You destroyed the world.
Yeah. I was thinking of Coffee Talk. The other one I was thinking of was Mike Myers. Like,
Mike Myers.
I'm all verklempt now. Let me give you a topic.
Yourselves.
Let me give you a topic. Rhode Island. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Discuss.
I like when Barbara Streisand actually comes on.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Because she's notoriously known for not being, she was supposed to sing with Celine Dion that one time, and she's, "I got laryngitis." It's because Babs no longer had the pipes for it, and Celine Dion was the, I mean, let's be honest. But Barbara Streisand was a great singer, and she was great in movies too. I used to love her and Ryan O'Neal. You probably guys didn't ever saw the movies, but they
Nope.
No,
they were actually pretty funny. Funny
think I've
Girl
only-
and I don't know. I'm trying to remember the names of the movie. I can't.
I think I've only seen 2 movies with Ryan O'Neal. I know he was a big deal in the 70s, but
You never seen Paper Moon?
Nope.
With his daughter,
Nope.
Tatum O'Neal.
Tatum O'Neal. Yeah, I know that's one that she won her award for.
Oscar for it. It's a really. I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, it's another movie I haven't seen probably in 40 years, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah, no, just Barry Lyndon, and then there's another one with his that I've seen, but yeah.
He's not much of a. He's kind of a.
Well,
dick.
he is not aged
Yeah,
well at all. Ryan O'Neal.
He plays. He does a movie with Barbara Streisand where he plays a boxer. That's a good movie. I don't remember. I don't know. He was in a lot of good movies in the 70s, but I can't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, it's funny how like some actors, can be really specific to an era, and that's it, And did you guys see that absurd claim from Jennifer Lawrence a couple days ago, where she said that she was the first leading actress in an action movie, because of the Hunger Games, and of course. Yeah, and then of course Twitter and the whole internet blew up of like, are you fucking serious? Because it's like, Ellen Ripley, Sarah Connor, like are you serious? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, sometimes these actors don't think.
Yeah,
it's like come on, you're not.
And I like her. I think she's great.
Yeah,
yeah,
she's funny. She's funny, and she's a good actress, and she's got a wacky personality. But that was a misstep.
Yeah. No, I mean, Mike, I haven't. I have not seen the Weird Al movie yet.
It looks good though. It looks really good.
I'm not opposed to seeing it. That's for sure.
No, talk about someone who can write good music.
Well, I mean, he actually has written some of his own songs. I've never heard any original material of his.
I like his somber side, like the introspective, so it's kind of like Bob Ross. You never see Bob Ross paint a portrait. It's always a landscape,
Like Happy
Trees. So
Happy Trees.
it'd be really interesting if Weird Al, like his last album that he ever releases, is just like these really heartfelt personal songs about his life, and and this like comes out and
I'm pretty sure the movie like has nothing to do with his life, and it's all made
Oh, really?
up.
It's just
like he didn't go out and bang Madonna. That's like part of the trailer. That's not
banging Madonna. People. It's like a parody documentary. He made up his own documentary.
oh, that's kind of fun.
It makes
that's actually
sense for him to
yeah.
do it. Yeah.
That actually even makes it sound more fun and exciting to watch.
He was great. What made him was MTV.
Yeah.
MTV.
Yeah, the videos. Yeah, of course.
I remember when the movie UHF came out, and I was
great
so
film.
excited. What's that?
Great film. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so excited. It was like one of those movies that was like, Mom, like I want to go. Like, can we rent? I was so excited to like rent it, and that was back in the day when, if you went there, they didn't have a copy. You weren't getting
You
that.
were getting it.
Yeah, and you were bummed, So, but man,
definitely one of my favorite memes of the last few years, where it was like, kids today will never ever know the pain of going to the rental store and
Yes, they will. Here's today's equivalent of that. Is that when a kid today wants to watch a movie that's not currently available on any streaming platform without paying for rental? Because that shit happened to me today. That shit happened to me today. Because I wanted to go back and watch the Creed movies because there's a new Creed movie coming out, and you can't watch Creed anywhere. You gotta pay for it.
Mm.
Oh, so there's a new. Yeah, that's right. There's a new Creed movie.
Yeah,
I know. I saw the second
looks
one.
fucking awesome.
I can't remember what it was about.
I haven't seen the second one, so
The
I want to go back.
the second one's the Drago story, and it's
Yeah, okay,
it's got its moments that are good, but like I think it was a missed opportunity. There's a lot of stuff there that could have been made it really, really good.
Don't they kick Sylvester Stallone out?
Spoilers.
Not in the second one.
This makes more sense than
The third
Chris
one.
wanting to watch a movie about the band Creed.
No,
Just
you
Imagine,
can't
you
take
imagine
me
in
higher.
Hollywood someone saying like, "I want to make a movie about Creed." Oh man, I love Apollo Creed. No,
No.
the band.
Got stab.
Yeah. Come again?
Now,
I've seen
High
this.
enough, the biopic of Creed.
I finally watched.
enough.
I finally watched the second episode of
enough.
Tulsa King. King of
Okay.
Tulsa.
what's your verdict on that one?
It's not bad. It's
Okay.
gotten a little better. It's gotten a little better. It's just hard. It's Sylvester Stallone.
It's the Willow of Paramount Plus.
Unfortunately, he's always Rocky or Rambo. I mean, it's hard to
strong actor.
It's hard to get that out of your mind. But
Same with Warwick Davis. Okay.
But you look at him, you go, God, the guy's 75 years old and he's in better shape than anyone here on the Rambo cast.
Yeah.
You know, Matt, so I was at I forget where I was, but I was at one of the conventions where Warwick Davis was up on stage, and being very Warwick Davis, just nice, you know, and super. And he made the mistake of saying like, "So does anyone out here really like Ewoks?" And like the whole crowd just like stone silent. And he's like, "Well, fine then, screw all you guys."
That's awesome.
You know, in his mind, he's like, okay, and then I'm gonna hit it with this, and they're gonna go nuts.
Like, boo. The only thing worse would have been Jar Jar.
Mm. Oh, speaking of like whoever
Jar
said
Jar.
tattoos earlier about the tramp stamp and all that, that to me was one of the funniest parts in the movie Fanboys. If you guys ever watched that, where
100 years ago, yeah.
Seth Rogen, you know, he's got like all the Star Wars tattoos on his body, and then he gets Jar Jar before the movie officially Phantom Menace comes out. He's got Jar Jar tattooed on like his entire back. He's like, "This guy's gonna be kick ass, man!" And it's like, oh.
Yeah, that character completely killed the movie.
Yeah, like I mean, apparently there is a cut out there that people have removed Jar Jar from all the scenes, because I have actually defended many times. I know to Matt, like Phantom Menace plot wise is very solid. If you just remove Jar Jar from it, Jar Jar is the cringe part of it.
Yeah, you can't. It's unwatchable.
I think the part that killed the movie for Sherry was the bomb threat at the movie theater. So just a callback. So hopefully she, probably not even funny that I made that joke.
Nope, that
there it
wasn't funny.
is.
You know, episode 2 is the worst to me, in my opinion.
It's funny that you called yourself out for not being funny.
I do that.
That
I
made
do
it
that.
funny.
I try to head you guys off at the pass. You know, it's like.
No, we knew.
Let it roll.
On that note, this was a great show, kids. It was 1 million. Happy holidays. Thank you for joining us. Nick had so much more to say because he just opened his second beer, but
my fourth, actually.
Oh, okay. Way to catch up with us.
Yeah.
So, because I'm sure Chris and I are totally gone, man, gone. No. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I
Just
could
like,
go to bed.
what?
I could go to
What?
bed.
What?
Yeah, remember when you used to actually write like cool notes about people and draw stuff? You know, you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, lazy fuck.
Wow. Ouch.
I think he's just trying to get me back about his sex tape.
Oh, don't act like you haven't seen it.
Hey,
We've
the
all
name
seen
says it all.
Home
So-
Alone.
Home Alone. And if the title episode was not already taken, that's what it would be.
I think this is. I mean, how best to wrap this episode up? You know.
High five,
mean-
Chris. High five.
Oh.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, Nick. It was there.
To be fair, like every other
That's-
episode
well, that's-
title
that's Nancy Reagan.
is usually making fun
Okay,
of me. So
sorry.
there's that. Sex tape is on Disney Plus. Yeah, if you watch the second one, it's got Trump in it too.
It could also be called Solo, though, right? If you want to keep the Star Wars.
Oh,
I'm gonna ask you
man.
to jump on that.
Went back to the original, the OG sex tape. Home Alone is a sequel.
They also have Free Guy.
Nick does the kitchen.
2 on the nose. 2 on the nose.
I don't think Nick thinks this is funny.
Oh, I'm sorry. Make fun of me. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, y'all are married with kids.
I mean, I was gonna say I co-star in these.
This has been my bed for the last week. So
These are my movies too.
Matt, are you just admitting you're in the doghouse? What's going on?
no,
It's the COVID house.
I had COVID for a week, trying to avoid my wife from getting her affected, and now guess what? She's upstairs sick.
Oh, you dick!
No, she doesn't have COVID. She took the COVID test, and she doesn't have COVID. I think she has the flu. Every time I tell her she has the flu, she says no. But from what I understand, the flu that's going around has a lot of similar symptoms of this COVID. So, but yeah, she's tested several times and no dice there.
Yeah.
So, but she's sick now. So hopefully, we can have a date night and I can sleep in my own bed again.
Okay.
Oh.
No,
I didn't know where that was going, but that was about you getting laid.
happy holidays.
Well, I get you could where can Matt rent your tape, Nick?
JaneJack.com.
Is it an instructional video?
That's free solo. No, never mind. At this point, Jack wants to thank some patrons for what? Why are you saying that I'm lazy? Because I don't draw during while we.
I didn't say that. I
No,
said
you
You
said that
called him a
earlier.
lazy fuck, actually.
Yeah, you did. I mean,
I said lazy Susan instructions.
No, you called him lazy fuck.
It was lazy fuck.
Oh, that was earlier. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, happy horny days. Brought to you by Miami Mike.
That's what I heard from Gretchen. Lazy fuck.
Yeah, that'll be the patron only release, is what Sherry's saying. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to get that patronship back up. This time we like to thanks for everyone for listening. I'm sorry I joined you late, but I had to do Survivor because I went to the thing last night. It was crowded. It was packed. But you guys don't watch Survivor, so you don't know any of the players or anything like that. So
the thing, you went to a thing with players?
well, no, it was a watch party.
Oh, okay.
And
Go ahead.
I didn't even tell the story because Colleen gave us directions. It's out in Durham. We're driving around.
Oh,
And usually Alexa, the voice tells you you've reached your destination. It kept saying we're like 800 feet away, and we kept driving. Literally, we're driving. We got there at 7:30. We didn't stop driving till 7:55. We couldn't find it. It was inside this building, and you couldn't see the name. I go, what the fuck? These are apartments. What the fuck? If I would have been by myself, I would have given up and gone home. I would have said, even though it's
You
like
would
a
not have
45-minute drive, I would not have survived. I would have said, fuck it, I'm out. Tribe has spoken. I'm going home. Because it was just one of those things where you couldn't find it. But anyway, we'd like to thank all our patrons. If you'd like to become a patron, go to jack.com. Click on the link to become a patron. Still looking for our $1 million patron. Yeah, that was kind of a disappointment. Anyway, so you think it would be better, but you get there and it's like, oh, okay, all right.
because he was driving around forever. Get it? You know.
Not even that. It was like,
Okay.
it's like, okay, whatever. Johnny Fairplay was there. If you don't know who Johnny Fairplay is, he's the guy that
Annoying.
claimed his grandmother had died.
Right.
And to get sympathy, and it worked for a while.
Oh, wow.
We interviewed him on the when Jay was still doing the Survivor podcast, and he was so sexist, and so I was like, the things he was saying to Colleen were like going. So someone goes, "Hey, you want a picture with Johnny Fairplay?" I go, "No, I'm good." So anyway, thank our patrons. Go to.
We like to thank our patrons.
Land the fucking plane.
Land it. I'm on Manifest. So anyway, we'd like to thank Eckhart Rickner Glaffelter, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, and Ed, the creepy letter carrier. Thanks for what you do, and thanks for everyone who listens to us and puts up with our crap. We should be back sometime next week. Hasta luego. Great show, kids. Oh wait, it's not my turn to end it. You're running it, Matt.
No, go ahead. Finish. Go ahead and finish.
I'm done.
That's
done.
Jack's sex tape.
Bye.
By Menon.
No, lastly though, thank you for everybody that does join us live though. It is always fun to have that. So thank you for joining us.
It is. And a big shout out to Jeremy for all those questions tonight. Well done.
Yeah, Jeremy. Yeah, just leave us alone next week. You're driving us crazy.
Hasta luego and good night.
Arrivederci.
Bye.